We apologize for the technical difficulties there, but we are back and we should be good for the rest of the second half. And Jock, you want to explain to them what happened while we were gone?
St. Joe's just powering down the run game there. St. Joe's, the first time I've seen St. Joe's really open up the run game. They got inside the 5, got stopped on the first play, and then Amari Jones able to just power through for the 6 points. Tyler Huseth with the extra point. It's good. Scores 23-7. St. Joe's with the lead. 5:46 left in the third.
And Amari Jones is really coming into that 2022 season form. He was the clear best player, in my opinion, on that team last year. And with 2 rushing touchdowns on the game today, he looks like he's kind of entering that same form he was in last year. He's seeing a lot more production, and St. Joe's is seeing the benefits on the scoreboard right now.
Definitely. I feel like we've talked about it so many times this year, but this is a different St. Joe's team just in general. Obviously, a lot of returning guys, but just the defense plays with more energy. They get more stops. The offense produces so much more than they did last year. It's an overall better team, in my opinion.
Yeah, this team really has an argument for the best St. Joseph football team ever, if we're being honest. The football program just came up recently, I believe 2010, 2011, around that time. And in that 12, 13-year period, I think this might be the best team we've ever put on the field. It's going to be a touchback on the kickoff by Huseth.
Yeah, good kick by Huseth. Big leg from Huseth, definitely. Big sophomore guy.
Union back on the field. O'Malley King, 4 wide receiver set.
One in the backfield. I think this is a handoff here. Man in motion.
Yep. There will be a good call there. And St. Joe's had the same prediction as you, Jock, and they shut that down. It's about a 1-yard gain there for Union on the inside rush.
I feel like Union really got to start taking some more chances here. They've been trying to stick with the run game. It's kind of worked for them, but they're just not able to progress that ball and get that one big play. They've had that one big play, which was their score, when they were about at the St. Joe's 30-ish yard line where they had that one breakaway play. But other than that, Union really just hasn't had that big play yet.
Yeah, and the only thing that's really been untested on this St. Joe's defense are the DBs in this game, at least. But it seems like every time they try and test the DBs, a guy like Dan Bellavia or a guy like Christian Magliacano immediately shut that down and take the quarterback down. So that's really the only reason why these DBs haven't been tested. Here's a bit of a test for them here, as it's going to be a completion. Looks like for first down for Union, Omar Ibrahim on the catch and Magliacano on the tackle for the Falcons.
Yeah, there's the other thing there. There's that short pass that I feel like Union has gone to so much. Just a quick comeback route, just quick slants, just something just to get across the middle, get a little bit down the field. Haven't taken many chances down the field yet, testing this secondary.
Yeah, and like I said before, I don't know if they haven't had many chances to, but it's because they physically can't. I mean, their receivers can't get down the field in enough time before that pass rush gets there. So like you said, those quick passes might be the way to go for Union.
Big
King, the handoff to Francis.
Blitz out of St. Joe's, eaten up right at the line.
Christian Magliacano is having himself a day today, arguably his best game of the season. He's going off against this Union O-line.
That was a great read by the St. Joe's coaching staff. They brought the house there. There were 7 guys there, 2 linebackers just coming right in, right out O'Malley.
Yeah, and I kind of like that. Just bring all the guys you got to the quarterback and let those guys like Amari Jones, Jeremy DeCaro, and JoJo Huntley handle things in coverage, because your pass rush is going to get there in 1.5, 2 seconds maybe. O'Malley King now in the shotgun, 4 wide receivers out set. King with a little bit of time. O'Malley King, what a ball to Omar Ibrahim. Ibrahim, the 10, touchdown Union.
There's that play. Union's been looking for it all night, and they just got it out of O'Malley King. What a shot down the field. Just burn that St. Joe's DBs.
And, Jock, we could have a 1-possession game here if they go for 2, which they likely will. Omar Ibrahim, his 3rd receiving touchdown on the year.
You see the Union coaching staff waving their plays over. Looks like they're gonna set up for 2, if I am not mistaken.
They better. If I'm Union, you have to set up for 2 here, because why be down 9 when you could be down 8 or be down 7 in that case. But we're going to see. They will go for 2. It's a shotgun set. 3 receivers out wide. St. Joe's looking like it's going to bring the house. Running back rolls out. O'Malley
Incomplete.
rolling out to the right. It is going to be incomplete.
Despite that, though, that is what Union needed. If I'm the Union head coach, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that shot down the field, testing those secondaries. Obviously, a couple of younger guys on that St. Joe's defense in the secondary, just trying to expose any weak points St. Joe's had. They haven't had many so far, but that's the one I feel like that's going to come back to bite St. Joe's in the butt right there.
Yeah, and if you're Union, you need that momentum. You need that courage to go for 2. And not only courage, it kind of just made only logical sense to go for 2. But unfortunately for them, they do not get it. So they are still down 10 with 3.5 minutes left to go in the third quarter. St. Joe's leads 23-13 over Union here in Union, and the Falcons are getting ready to receive the kickoff.
By the way, just looking back on that pass, O'Malley King threw an absolute laser to him. Like, that ball was placed right on the money and got there in a hurry, just showing off the arm strength of O'Malley King.
Yeah, O'Malley King hasn't had the greatest passing season so far in 2 games. He's got a 47% completion percentage, 108 passing yards, and a couple passing touchdowns, along with an interception. So not an ideal start for O'Malley King, but he's showing us that the arm is there when he wants to use it on that touchdown pass. JoJo Huntley going to let this one go out of bounds, and St. Joe's will take the penalty for a kickoff going out of bounds.
See, now this is what I'm really excited to see where the St. Joe's coaching staff is going to go here. I want to see if they're going to let Danny DeGennaro air it out a little bit on this drive, or if they want to. But I mean, they may just play more conservative, which I don't think is the right call here. I think you got to let Danny DeGennaro grow and try and push this ball down the field, try and put another score on the board, and just try and shut Union out for the rest of this game.
Yeah, it is an interesting situation because you have the run game after what we just saw that last drive, but also you want DeGennaro to air it out with these incredible receivers St. Joe's has. You got a 10-point lead. You got about 15 minutes left to go in the game. I don't know if it's really true clock territory. So I think you just play your normal offense. And like you said, I think you let DeGennaro air the ball out a couple times at least on this drive. Jeremy DeCaro in motion. DeGennaro going to roll out to the right. The out pass to DeCaro. Jeremy DeCaro has a little room. If that out-of-bounds line wasn't there, he was clearly gone. But Jeremy DeCaro, a big first-down gain for the Falcons.
The short pass, Danny DeGennaro makes it a right read on that play. He was looking downfield, able to just dump it off to his RB, pick up a nice around 12 yards for the first down.
And I know we were saying let Danny DeGennaro air it out, but honestly, the pass game is the right option. But when you got guys like Jeremy DeCaro, the running back, wide receiver type, who are just going off this season, just make sure you get them the ball and then let them do the work. And that's exactly what Jeremy DeCaro did in that last play, a 20-yard passing gain for the Falcons. Hand off to Huntley on the receiver end around. JoJo Huntley in first down territory again for the Falcons. JoJo Huntley. First down St. Joe's, and Huntley is slow to get up. And he won't get up, and he is joined with a Union player who is also down. JoJo Huntley has had an incredible game so far, and he is down on the field and looks like he's kind of writhing in pain. So rough sight for St. Joe's, and we're going to take a short break.
Do that.
St. Joe's back on the field after that injury timeout for JoJo Huntley. He was able to run off under his own power, so that's a good sight. Amari Jones is going to get the halfback dive here for the Falcons, and he's going to get close to the first down once again. Would have been the third straight first down for the Falcons, and they are rolling on this drive.
Definitely. Ben, and Sakath were definitely talking pregame about how this Union team is a good team to be 0-2, and how after watching this game, we all think that the reason why they're 0-2 at the moment is because of this pass attack. Because it looks like this up front four for Union is so good that they're just able to shut down the run game so easily. They should definitely be more focused on dropping the secondaries back a little bit more.
Yeah, and so I would say St. Joe's strength on offense is the run game, and it seems like Union overcommits to whatever the strength of the offense is that they're playing, and that's when they were able to beat you on the other side of the ball. That pass by DeGennaro is incomplete, but there was a penalty on the play. It looked like it might be a roughing the passer, or it's going to be a holding, actually, on St. Joe's, which is going to move him back.
That was great defense by the Union DBs right there. St. Joe's went 5 wide, no backfield, and DeGennaro just had nowhere to throw that ball. Linebackers, safeties, corners, everyone was all over those St. Joe's wideouts.
Yeah, and DeGennaro being a lefty, if you force him out to the right, that is an awkward situation to be in as a lefty quarterback, because then you got to turn your entire body in order to make that pass. And obviously, DeGennaro could not make that pass in that under pressure situation right there. St. Joe's going to move back after that holding call. We got 2 minutes left to go in the third quarter. St. Joe's leads 23-13 here in Union. St. Joe's with a 3 wide receiver set. DeGennaro, the pass complete to Amari Jones.
Taken down right away. Amari Jones didn't have much room there, just swallowed up from behind by number 26. End of the game, I'll do it.
St. Joe's going to head back out here. Got a minute and 20 seconds left to go on the clock.
3rd and deep, though.
DeGennaro. Same set, 4 wide receivers. Amari Jones in the backfield. DeGennaro looks to pass. Daniel DeGennaro, dangerous pass, and it's going to get picked off by Union.
See, this is dangerous territory now for this St. Joe's team. That cannot happen if you're Dan DeGennaro. Obviously, that ball is not his fault across the middle in traffic. Went off the receiver's hand. But you're up 10 in a game, and the third quarter still isn't even over yet. You still got a minute left in the third quarter and the whole fourth quarter. And this Union team, who just started to get on the roll on offense, just gets to go right back out in the field now.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to take all the fault off DeGennaro on that pass. That was a crowded area to try and just toss the ball into. I know it did tip off the receiver's hands, but he was under a lot of pressure on that catch was Amari Jones. And, I mean, it got tipped up, and there were 4 Union players around it to swarm it, and it's going to be an interception as O'Malley King heads back out for Union. King, the handoff to Francis. Francis is shut down once again. Time and time again, this St. Joe's run defense has obliterated any sort of run attack that Union hopes to have.
Definitely. I wouldn't call it unstoppable, but it definitely is more times than not. This St. Joe's front 4 and then those couple of linebacker blitzes that they bring, they just shut down any opposing run game that any other team wants to make.
Yeah, the front 4 we have talked a lot about today, but guys like Elias Scott and Will Almazzi are really making a difference on those blitzes and also in those zone packages in the middle of the field. This whole defense is clicking right now. The pass by O'Malley King is complete to Omar Ibrahim, who's going to get another big gain for Union. Ibrahim steps out at about the 30-yard line. And just as I was complimenting this St. Joe's defense, Omar Ibrahim gets a massive catch once again for Union.
You see this Union student section now starting to get into this game. They thought Ibrahim was going to the house there. Definitely could have if he wasn't shoved out of bounds there.
We've got some energy in the stands and on the sideline here at Union High School. And this could turn out to be a great game as we are nearing the end of the third quarter and about to enter the fourth quarter. Maybe have one more play in the third quarter. O'Malley King, 4 wide receivers out wide. 1 running back in the backfield. Handoff, shut down by the St. Joe's D-line.
Again, I mean, if I'm the Union coaching staff here, at this point, I am really going to only go short pass plays, deep pass plays. I wouldn't even try to think about running the ball unless you're trying to chew clock here.
Yeah, you got 2 possessions where you need to put up points in order to at least tie this game. So you got to go aggressive mindset if you're Union that'll be it for the third quarter. St. Joe's leads 23-13. We're going to take a short break and be right back for the fourth. We are back for what could be the final quarter of this game. St. Joe's leads by 10. O'Malley King in St. Joe's territory. His pass is complete to Darius. Darius had some room there, but he's shut down by Amari Jones and Magliacano.
Yeah, and the guy for Union, this game has been Omar Ibrahim. He's been, a silver lining for this Union team, and he's, consumed all of those targets, and he's been the guy for O'Malley down the stretch of this game. And I wouldn't be surprised if these red zone targets go to him.
It's a very likely possibility. King with a 3 wide receiver set, 2 backs in the backfield. Francis to his left. It will be the handoff to Francis. Looked like there was a bit of a hole there, but it did get shut down by that St. Joe's front 7.
Yeah, and for the most part, the running game has been insignificant for Union. They've haven't really been doing any damage, and what can you expect with a defensive line as dominant as St. Joe's?
Yeah, we're kind of beating a dead horse now, but this St. Joe's front 7 has been unbelievable this entire game. O'Malley King, same formation, 3 receivers, 2 men in the backfield. King, another handoff to Francis. It is immediately shut down by Christian Magliacano, who has been all over the backfield all day today for St. Joe's. And it looks like he's going to be the MVP of this game for the Falcons, Saketh.
Yeah, I agree. And maybe him or maybe Dan Bellavia are in that conversation. But in the running game, those 2 men in the middle, those tackles, they've just been there and stuffing those runs. I mean, the holes are just not opening up there.
Yeah, it's a great game plan, the entire game for St. Joe's, but you can't really game plan for a defensive line like this. 4 wide receivers out wide for King. The screen pass.
King's taken down. That's Magliacano.
Magliacano once again on the tackle on Darius. 9.5 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. St. Joe's leads by 10. Saketh, Union needs a quick score because they got to get the ball back and get the ball in the end zone again after this drive.
Yeah, and so looking a little bit, slim here for Union unless they speed things up. O'Malley really has to, speed up the tempo here for the offense and maybe get a couple more plays off.
Yeah, I don't think, and especially with how the St. Joe's offense has been playing, especially the run game, which is pivotal to chewing the clock. They got to get things going here if they want to get the ball back and still be down by 3 or 7 after this drive. And a timeout by Union is not going to help much. You need to conserve those timeouts in this situation. But coach didn't like the play, so he's going to switch it up a little bit. That's Coach Lou Grasso over on the Union sideline. It's his 10th season with the team. He has a 60-36 record, along with 1 NJ sectional championship. And he had a very successful team last year. They went 9-2 in the 2021 season, and they've already filled up their losses as they did last year. So unless they want to have a repeat of last season, they need to win out.
And let's be honest, it's kind of like bad fortune to use a timeout now. Obviously, in a comeback game, those timeouts are really important. It's really important to not waste them. So that's something that Union has to be mindful of, and they have to keep track of the clock more.
Those timeouts are sacred in a time like this, in a situation like this, and to be using them to switch up the play, it's a real faulty decision in my book. But both teams are going to head back out. Union one timeout less.
Yeah, and Ben, do you feel like the Falcons are going to start to feel some more pressure as we get deeper into this game? Obviously, a score here would really, you know, hike up the pressure. But do you think they're already starting to feel it?
If I were the Falcons, I would, or not recommending that you feel the nerves, but I think the nerves are starting to set in for St. Joe's, especially in this situation. Up 10 is not an incredible lead. O'Malley King almost got something going, but guess who was there to stop him once again? That's Christian Magliacano on the big tackle for St. Joe's.
Yeah, and this Union running game has looked a lot like Cam Akers in that Rams game. I mean, shout out Michael Alvarez, but that was a brutal showing from the Rams, and it's looking just to shut down by Union.
It was a brutal showing by Union on that drive. That was a fourth down play. They needed a first down or a touchdown there. Christian Magliacano once again denied them of that option. Out come the St. Joe's offense. Up 10, 9 minutes on the dot left to go in this fourth quarter. St. Joe's, we were saying the nerves should start setting in. They must be feeling very comfortable right now. De Janeiro, the handoff there to Jones.
Yeah, and we said this before, but I think if you're St. Joe's, you're going to just keep trying to chew that clock out and maybe give the ball back with maybe a couple minutes left on the clock. And at that point, Union, they'll be ready to leave and, they'll realize their defeat. But, if you're Union, you really got to make sure you try to get a 3 and out here.
Yeah, and even if St. Joe's doesn't put any points on the board after this drive, if they could eat up that clock, maybe get to the 40, 50-yard line and then have to punt or whatever happens to turnover, I think that might be enough to put an end to this game. De Janeiro, the pitch over to Amari Jones. Amari Jones gets a big run here for Jones, and he goes out of bounds. Out of bounds on not the friend of
one guy really stepping up over the other in that running game. And sorry, like I was saying, usually we've seen one guy out of those three between DeCaro, Omari, and JoJo Huntley step up amongst the rest. But I feel like today we've seen, a really even slate. I mean, obviously Omari's been getting those goal line touches, but JoJo Huntley has been getting those big plays, kind of like a swift Jamal Williams counterattack. But Jeremy DeCaro has been a little more quiet this week compared to last week. So how do you think that impacts the next game and the games after that? Do you think they're going to try and give DeCaro more of a receiving role, or are they going to go back to him in the run game?
Well, all the big plays that he's had so far in this game have been receptions. I know he had that I think it was a 35-yard catch earlier on in the game. And just in that last play, they called a false start on St. Joe's. But it looked like he was going to get the end-around handoff and have a one-on-one situation near the sideline. So it looks like they're still trying to get him involved as much as Amari and JoJo, or even a little bit more. But, yeah, just not the same production as that Somerville game. And honestly, you can't really expect that from him with how good he played in Somerville. The handoff there for the Falcons again on that 2nd and 15.
Yeah, it didn't really go anywhere from the start. He was just hammered right there by the looked like the linebacker for Union.
Now
like we said earlier, this Union team is full of big bodies who really get down and gritty, especially in the line. So it's definitely something that could help obviously for their defense. But St. Joe's really has to get a first down here if they want to have hopes of chewing this clock more.
That first down is pivotal, and we have a couple injured players down on the field for Union. So we'll take a short break. Both teams going to head back onto the field. St. Joe's faced with a 2nd and 7 here on their own 30-yard line. The handoff to Jones. Amari Jones met with contact almost immediately. It's a decent gain of about 2 or 3 yards for the Falcons.
And again, they're just going to keep trying to pound the ball and keep getting a couple yards and chipping away at the time. 3rd down and 7, though. I maybe expect maybe a play action pass, maybe try and get a 1st down, but I wouldn't really be surprised if Tracy just takes his chances and runs.
Yeah, I wouldn't even call it taking his chances. I think it's the smart move in the situation. The run game has been working all day today, and this is the perfect opportunity to really go after that run game. And they will hear Amari Jones on the pitch. Jones finds some room. Amari Jones, 1st down carry for the Falcons.
Amari Jones is one of those guys who you really don't want to give any open field. He can accelerate from one level to the next, and he's really dangerous, especially when he drops his shoulder.
And you got to love the amount of touches that St. Joe's is getting Amari in this game. It really feels like we're watching him from last season. Last season, he had an incredible year, and he's had an incredible game all day today for the Falcons. St. Joe's in that 2 running back set, almost guaranteeing it's a run, and it will be. Up the middle, it's going to be Amari Jones once again. Still working, not refusing to go down, and he finally will be a 2nd and 7 for the Falcons near the 50-yard line. We have 6 minutes left to go. St. Joe's leads 23-13 here in Union, and some fans seem to already be heading for the parking lot. Not much faith for Union left in this game from the student section, Kev.
Yeah, I guess it's just, try and get out of here before the traffic starts.
I can't blame them. We're going to be hitting a lot of that traffic as we head out, but it'll be well worth it to see what could be another St. Joe's win.
Yeah, and I assume if more of the flock was here, we'd be hearing some of those iconic "Start the Buses" chants. But it's still away game, 30 minutes away from the school, so you can't really blame the flock for not showing up. But
yeah, but I mean, you do hope that with the way that this team is playing this year, that the flock is able to make it to some more away games and definitely some more home games, because I think that's sort of a missing piece for St. Joe's right now. With how well they're playing, I think they are more than deserving of a energetic Falcon flock this season. Christian Magliacano will be the lone receiver out to the left. DeGennaro will roll out to the left, looking for Magliacano. Instead, he'll find Amari Jones. Instead, that's JoJo Huntley, who will get the 1st down for St. Joe's.
And you got to think these players are going to start, getting some more college interest. Obviously, their usage is all kind of vultured away from each other, but the limited touches that they are getting are productive ones. And I think, colleges will start looking into these guys.
I think they definitely deserve that interest, and the better this team gets, the more that record becomes 3-0, 4-0 possibly. The more interest colleges will have in this team as they become ranked higher and higher in the state.
Yeah, and we can say whatever we want about this Union team, but this stadium has been electric. I mean, they have a band going, they have cheerleading, dancers. I mean, this is that prototypical Friday Night Lights game that St. Joe's doesn't get, but they play so well against.
Yeah, and no, it's great to see, and especially when we have hundreds of students from Union in the stands right now, right beneath us. So it's great to see the support for Union football, and most of them are sticking around despite being down 10 with 4 minutes left to go. St. Joe's going to head back out, 2nd and 4. No receivers. Huntley and Jones in the backfield. DeGennaro, handoff to JoJo Huntley. Huntley takes a hit, but not before getting a good gain of about 4 to 5 yards.
And Huntley's been, a guy who's gotten, work in the open field, but he hasn't really been getting those goal line touches like Amari has. And I think it balances well that way. I mean, obviously, Huntley deserves to get rewarded sometimes, but, Amari's more of that,
more like a power back.
Right,
almost.
Exactly.
Yeah, Amari's the kind of guy you want on the goal line, but you can also throw him out there whenever you want because he's arguably one of your best runners. And Jeremy DeCaro is another one. DeCaro with an incredible hesitation move. Jeremy DeCaro barrels his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Falcons.
Yeah, and I'm looking at some Union fans looking in disbelief as Jeremy DeCaro dropped that shoulder. He absolutely looked like a tank right there rolling into the end zone.
And Saket, that hesitation that he had, that drop step juke move, was just absolutely disgusting from DeCaro as he rolled out to the right side. St. Joe's takes a commanding 29-13 lead over Union with 3 minutes left to go, and that'll all but do it here in Union High School.
And how great is Jeremy DeCaro's awareness of where the defenders are and which way he has to roll and how to get to the sideline, avoiding tackles. I mean, he's just great.
We have a blocked extra point here, and nothing to it. No, but I mean, Jeremy DeCaro, not that we were worried about him this game, but he didn't show the same production as he did against Somerville. But, I mean, that shows that the same Jeremy DeCaro was still on this football team. He's just seen a couple less touches, but when he does get the ball in his hands, he makes plays just like that.
Yeah, and I mean, in fantasy terms, we call it touchdown regression. But, you know, when you're scoring 2 to 3 touchdowns a week, you're going to regress one week. And I wouldn't really even call this much of regressing.
Not after that play, I wouldn't. And like I said, I mean, he's still the same football player out there, but after he's getting some touches and we get a touchdown out of him, and an incredible touchdown, I might add, that hesitation move and then running over a defender to get into the end zone, Jeremy DeCaro pretty much puts this game away for the Falcons with 3 minutes and 15 seconds left to go.
Yeah, and you can pretty much book it. And St. Joe's is getting really close again to that 30-point mark. You know, that's really been, where they've been this season, getting to 30 points, limiting teams to no more than, 7 points, 16 points. So it's definitely a welcome sight for the Falcons.
Yeah, St. Joe's on the defensive side, they've held teams to less than 15 points every single game, and they've scored more than 28 points every game.
What a squib kick there! I mean, it was just bouncing around, and the Union returner, I believe it was Darius. He just couldn't get his hands on it.
Yeah, it was a great job there by Tyler Huseth. And then finally at the end, St. Joe's makes the tackle right at the reception point. So Union, if they thought they had any chance, that kickoff by Huseth might do it as they're backed up to their own 15-yard line with 3 minutes left to go, down 16.
Yeah, and Ben, this is a conversation we had last week about, at what point do you start taking your best players out, and you can already start to see, the defensive line becoming a little bit watered down. Obviously, Dylan Campanella, senior, he's put in now, but yeah, Dan Bellavia is still in there, so whenever he's there, it's still risky for the O-line.
And it's a nice play here by Francis. Yeah, and I think the thing about the starters, keeping the starters in, is because technically it is still a 2-possession game. So it is within the realm of possibility that Union could somehow tie this game in regulation. Highly, highly unlikely, but you still don't want to take that chance as St. Joe's. You want to keep your starters out there and ensure a victory, and I'm sure they will after this drive. O'Malley King, pass is complete. Over to Darius, who gets just about a first down, but not much more. 2 minutes, 40 seconds on the clock. Once again, St. Joe's leads 29-13 over Union. And the stop there by Dan Bellavia and Christian Magliacano, the edge rushing duo for the Falcons.